Last year, when I was in Bandung in Indonesia, which is a city very close to Jakarta, I was dating a girl, and I've met her for a few times. And the strange thing was, when we had our meetings, that she always talked about her ex-boyfriend. You know, she always brought up that issue. And even on our very first meeting, our very first date. And I met her probably 2-3 times, and then I stopped the whole thing. Because I learned at the end of the day that when an Indonesian woman talks too much about her ex-boyfriend, then this is a red flag. And this is also the topic of today's video. A red flag when an Indonesian woman talks about her ex-boyfriend. And maybe some of you have already experienced that. Also, you were in the same situation, in a similar situation, and you couldn't make any sense of it, right? Or you were confused, or maybe you just thought, oh, that's just normal. You know, maybe she just wants to share her story, and when she is sharing her story with you, that actually could mean she is trusting you, she is open, she is transparent. You know, that was actually my reasoning at the time, but that was a mistake. You know, I was thinking, oh, she is very open to me and transparent. So, but why is this a red flag? Number one, when you are on a first date, and this is true for women and men alike. But let's talk about the women here. When you are on a first date, right, you want to give a very good first impression, right? It's not only on a date. You go to a job interview or to any other occasions, even to networking events. You know, you dress up. And you are on your best behavior, basically, right? And it's the same with dating. You know, men, women, they date, and for the first time you don't know each other. You are nervous, you are excited, yeah. Maybe you're even worried. But one thing is for sure: you wanna make a first good impression, because first impressions last, right? You wanna be on your best behavior, and you certainly don't want to talk about your past relationships, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, whatsoever. Because if you really want to kill any new relationship, then you just start talking about your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, right? This is the experience I learned the hard way. Because at the time I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't see that red flag, because also I think in Germany, the country where I am from, it's a bit different, you know, because I remember when I was dating German girls many years ago, many centuries ago, you know, it's a long time ago. Yeah, we talked about our exes, you know, there was no issue. And I remember my very last German girlfriend, which is already like 22 years ago, she talked openly about her past relationships with her boyfriends. I knew there was no emotional attachment anymore from her side to these boys. I know that 100%, but in our culture, you know, we can discuss these things more openly, and yeah, so this is my background, that's our culture. But an Asian culture is different, yeah. And so this is point number one. So you want to make a first good impression, you don't talk about your ex-boyfriends. Well, what's the point? That's the wrong occasion anyway. Number two, yeah, if she talks about her ex-boyfriend, and this girl was the girl I met last year in Bandung, she was talking about her ex-boyfriend quite a lot, then actually I was the wrong person to talk to, yeah. These are things she should have talked to about to her sister or best friend or maybe her mom. but not me, and especially not on a date, right? And point number 3 is when you meet these kind of women who start to talk about their ex relationships and stuff like that a little bit too much. And actually the story with this girl was that her ex-boyfriend broke up with her. Number one, this guy cheated on her. Not only did he cheat on her, but he also broke up with her, you know. So he basically left her high and dry. So, but this girl at the time, she was no quality woman because she had no self-respect, and because she apparently needed or wanted validation from a guy who broke up with her, left her high and dry, cheated on her. So that doesn't actually make sense, right? But it happens a lot because she probably really loved him, I don't know. But on the other hand, if you are a quality woman, I assume, and your boyfriend or your partner cheats on you, if you are really a quality woman, you will say, that's it, we are done, goodbye, get out of my life. You know, she has enough self-respect. She was able to set certain boundaries. She follows certain rules, certain personal policies, you know, and she would never allow to kind of hang on to that kind of guy with no integrity who was cheating on her, you know. So these are the quality girls, you know. But this girl I was talking to last year was actually no quality girl. So in that regards, I was actually lucky that the whole thing ended pretty quickly. So we dated just a few times, and because I felt she wasn't interested anyway. Yeah. So this girl was not over her past relationship yet. That was still all in her mind, you know. She had no sense. That's why she was bringing this issue up during our meetings and conversations in the coffee shops we met, you know. So yeah, that's how it can go. But that's a red flag. That was a red flag. And normally, what is my experience in Indonesia? Normally, Indonesian women, a normal Indonesian woman would never bring up these issues, you know. And this is what I learned now over the course of the past year. Indonesian, during your dates, during your meetings, you don't talk about past relationships. And why do Indonesian women actually do not bring this topic up, and why do they don't they want to talk about their past relationships? I will talk about in my next video, okay? I will let you know why you also should never ask an Indonesian woman when you are dating her, when you're meeting her, about her ex-boyfriend, you know? Why you should not do that. So you wouldn't, why you should not just ask, hey, tell me about your ex-boyfriend. You don't do this in Indonesia. Why? I will explain in the next video, okay? So to conclude this video, again, because some of you might be watching this video now and say, yeah, you know, Marcel, what are you talking about? This is all silly, you know, it would never happen to me. It's obvious, you know. I mean, if a girl is talking about her ex-boyfriend, then of course she is still hanging on to him, and the whole issue is still in her mind. Yeah, you know, you might be sitting now in your armchair or on your couch with your bag of potato chips, and for you it's easy because you're not emotionally involved in this whole thing. You're just being entertained right now by this video. You know, you're watching it from a far distance. It's nothing for you. But if you are too closely invested emotionally, then you will overlook the obvious. And what's the obvious? It's the red flags. It doesn't mean that it always has to be that way, but I've talked about this in other videos, in previous videos. If you are really emotionally involved when you're in this game, when you are actually dating these girls, if you are involved with them, if you're meeting them, or if even you are in a relationship with them, talking about Southeast Asian women, but also Indonesian women, or Filipinas, or Thai girls, or Vietnamese girls. If you are really dealing with them physically and you are emotionally involved, then you have to learn a lot of things. That's why I'm doing these videos, and many guys underestimate that, you know. And some of the guys who are watching these videos, they never been to Southeast Asia, they never traveled to these countries. These guys, they're watching a bunch of videos, which is good, you know, and also my videos should be helping you to get some information, you know, and some hints. But at the end of the day, you have to be like boots on the ground. Eventually, you have to travel to these countries. You have to come to Indonesia and start dating these girls to avoid paralysis analysis, you know, because too much video watching is not going to cut it, you know. And then you will only learn and understand what I'm talking about, because from the distance it all looks so rational and clear and common sense. But when you get emotionally involved with these girls, I tell you, you will have to start how to learn to date from scratch. That's why I'm doing this video. So don't make this mistake and underestimate this. You have to learn to discern when you're dating in Southeast Asia. You have to learn about a lot of new red flags, you know. And the problem becomes even bigger if you are a needy guy. You know, I've talked about this in previous videos as well. So it's not only that the girl might have issues which you are not able to discern or to figure out, but maybe you are needy. You have issues for yourself, and you are not even aware of them. So that even makes things more complicated. So with that being said, I'm checking out for today. I'm looking forward to what you have to say. Yeah, I see you in the comment sections, and I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care, bye bye.